So, actually, in Olympiads, we get 1 or 2 minutes maximum to solve each question. And when I was preparing for my Olympiads, I got a chapter named Square Roots. Squares and Square Root. That was the full name of the chapter. Now, when I tried to solve these questions, when I tried to find the square root, it took me more than 3 or 4 minutes for large numbers. So I thought that I should look for a trick that could help me get the square root very quickly in just 3 to 5 seconds. And so as I got, and that was what I got. So this is a nice trick which no one will tell you, but this is a trick. And I practiced this several times, and at each time it was correct. So it is 100% no fail trick. Means you will not get the wrong answer if you try this trick very nicely and heartedly. So now let's try and learn this trick. Firstly, I don't want to just share that trick with you. I want you to learn the basics of this trick. You need to learn the basic terms of the trick, because if you learn anything, you will forget it in 1 2 days. But if you understand something, then you will not forget it for the whole life, right? So that is what we are going to do today. For this, firstly, you need to understand I have a table over here which shows square root of first 1 to 10 and then from 11 to 20. And these are the most important one which we you have to learn. So just understand it very carefully. If I zoom it, you can see here carefully that the square of 1 is 1. It means its ending digit is 1. And if you forget 10, then you see of 9 also the number is 1. So you match them together. 1 and 9. They're square and with the same number, which is 1. Then we talk about 2, whose square is ending with 4, and 8. Of that also, that's 64 and its end digit is 4. So we will match 2 and 4 together. Then 3, we see that 3 square is 9 and the square of 7 is 49, and both of them end digit is 9, so we'll match them together. Then 4, the end digit of 4 square is 6, and that of 6, it's that also it is 6. So yes, we are gonna match it together. So this is the trick. And the 5 and 10, they are the exception, and you have to learn it. Now what we notice here is when there's any square given, for example, if I say 81, you can see the end digit, and from that end digit you can clearly tell that the number whose square is this, that would also end with the digit 1, that would be 1 or 9. For example, if I have over here 9, okay, and I multiply 9 into 9, then that would give me 81. By seeing the end digit, I can tell that either it is the square root of, it can be, if this number is very small, so you can just identify it. But if the number is larger, you are gonna see the last digit of the number. Okay, now let me give you an example. For example, there is a number which is 625. Now looking at the end digit, we can tell that the end digit over here 25, that is 5. So the end digit of the number whose square is this, or the square root of 625, that square root, whatever is the number, that number also ends with the digit 5. Okay, we are very sure in the case of 5. Why this happens is, if I multiply 25 into 25, 5 5s are 25, 5 2s are 10, 11 and 12. Then we will put a cross sign. So this digit is not gonna change. We are not adding any number to this, any digit to it. This, like 2 5s are 10, We'll carry 1, 2 to the 4 and 5. So to these number 0 and 5, they are being added, but this number remains the same. So as it remains the same, then we can clearly identify it without getting the fear that the number might be changed. No, it will not be changed. Now listen to me carefully. If we take another example, like it can be anything. Okay, so now we will go to the trick. But firstly, one thing is very important, that you need to learn the squares from 1 to 20, which is very important. If you can learn till 30, then it's very much then that's the best. But in Olympiads, generally you are required to learn from 1 to 20. Okay, we will just read it once and we will know it, because it's very simple. Square of 1 is 1, square of 2 is 4, then that of 3 is 9, that of 4 is 16, 5 is 25, 6 36, 7 49, 8 8s are 64, 9 9s are 81, 10 10s are 100. Then let's read of 1 11 to 20. 11 11s are 121, 12 12s are 144. Then square of 13 is 169. Square of 14 is the 169. Instead of 169, it is 196. Okay. Of 15 is 225. Of 16 is 256. Of 17 is 289. That of 18 is 324, and that of 19 is 361, and 20 is 400. Now let's go to the trick. So now let's start that trick. Let's take a number. Let's take a 4-digit number firstly. So I will take a number 9, 8, 0 and 1, and we have to find the square root of this. Firstly, to find the square root, what we do, it is very simple. The simplest thing. Okay, let me again write the digit. That is 9, 8, 0 and 1. You need to find the square root. Firstly, what you do is divide. What to divide? You need to break their bond. You need to separate the last 2 digits from the rest of the number. Okay? You need to separate the last 2 digits with the rest of the number. Okay? Now, we see that you have done this. Now, what you do is, you see that we have seen that if there's any square whose ending with 1, then it can either, the number end digit would be either it can be 1 or 9. Okay, now let's forget this. Now we will talk about, we will only see the last digit. We'll forget this one. Okay, we will forget this one. Then see this number 98. So we need to find the just smaller perfect square, which is just smaller than this number 98. So we know 9 9s are 81. That is the smallest perfect square, just smallest. Now that is 81. Whose square is it? It is 81. The number is 81, and it is square of 9. We know that is 9. So now we can now tell that the number now, it might be 91 or 99. It might be 91 or 99. But how to choose between them for the correct answer? So what you will do, you will multiply that number whose square is just smaller than 98 with the next larger, with the next number. Like if it is 9, then we'll multiply it with 10. 9 10s are 90. 9 10s are 90. Now what you do is, this is the reference number. This is just for reference. Okay. Now you see that this number is just for reference. Now you will see that this first half of the number is smaller or greater than this reference number. So if this number is greater. So we will choose the greater number. So this number is bigger. So we'll now choose that, yes, 99 is the square root of 9801. This is how simple is it to find the square root. And I think if you practice it, you will just solve it in 2-3 seconds. Now let's take another number. So let the number be, now I have this number, which is 108 and 9. Now how to find its square root? We just know the trick. We will break the bond between the last 2 digits and the rest of the digits. So we have broken this bond. Now we will see only the last digit. We know that it can either be the square of a number which ends with either 3 or 7. Okay, these are the options, either 3 or 7. Now we will see the first half of the number. This is 10. We need to find the just smallest number which is a perfect square. Then that number is 9, which is the square of 3. Now we'll multiply 3 with 4, which is the next number, and 3 4s are 12. Now we need to see that whether this number is greater or smaller than the reference number. We see that this number is smaller than the reference number. So now we know that this 3 will go against the smaller number, which is 3. Then this would be the square of 33, and this is the square root of 1089. I hope you are liking this trick. Now let us take a 3-digit number with us. Okay, so let us take a 3-digit number. So it can be 576. Now let's try to find the square root of this particular number. Firstly, we'll break up the bond. Then what we will do? We will find that this, seeing this number 6, we now know that its square root might end with the number 4 or 6 itself. These are the options we have. Okay. Now what we will do is, now we will find the smallest number which is a square root and smaller than 5. Then that is 4, which is the square of 2. We will now put 2 against 4 also and 6 also. Now we will see that whether we will multiply it with 3 firstly and we get 6. Now we need to check that first part of the number whose square root we are finding, that is smaller or greater than the reference point. Now that is smaller, so we will tick the smaller number. Then that would be, according to that, the answer would be 24. I hope this trick is very nice and you are loving that trick. And I also have one telling you an exception. If the reference number and this number is same, then you will always choose the bigger number. Then you will always go for the bigger number. This is, like very exceptional case, but it could be there sometimes. Okay. Now we'll take a 5-digit number. We will take the number 21025. Let's solve it together. Again, we will break the bond between the last 2 and the rest parts of the number. So we see it is ending with 5. So we are sure that the number whose square is this, that would end with 5. No need to check. We just need to write 5. Okay. Then we need to find the smallest number, just smallest number, then 210, which is a perfect square. Then we know that the square of 15, no, okay. So we will be taking 14, and the square of 14 is 196 of 14. We get that number 14. No need to learn the square root, you just should know the approx. Okay, that is 14. Now we will multiply 14 with 15. We will multiply 14 with 15, and wait a minute. Okay, when we multiply 14 with 15, 5 4s are 20, 5 1s are 5, 6 7. Then we'll multiply 1, 4 and 1. We will get 210, which is equals to than this. Of course, we do not have to check this. I'm just telling you to just give you the number. Okay, we will. There's no bigger or smaller number. So yes, we can directly write that it is 14. 145, and that is it. I hope you're ready. You really like this video, and you can solve more questions. And the next video, we are surely going to find a trick for finding the square of any number. Till then, be with the channel and do not forget to subscribe for more such videos. Bye bye.